First of all, thank you for joining Margaret and myself, Brittany, for all about learning the loyalty feature. As we all know, it's a beginning of the year. Great time to learn about something new that you may want to implement in your own business. So let's get started. First of all, Margaret, can you see my slide here? Just making sure that.
Yes, ma'am. Yeah, everything looks good.
Awesome. Thank you. All right, here we go. So a few things we're going to talk about today. First of all, what is the loyalty feature? We're going to briefly just talk about what it is, what it does. We are going to activate the loyalty extension within Commerce7. And then we're going to talk about redemption. How do you redeem the points on an admin order, a POS order, and an online order? And then finally, we're going to round it out with looking at reporting and queries and tags. So what does the loyalty feature do? Well, at its core, customers can earn points on purchases, and then customers can redeem their points for future purchases. So it's pretty much, we all know what a loyalty program is, and it's no different in Commerce7 as far as that core feature there. Why should you implement it? It obviously incentivizes visitors to become customers, because there is a setting where you can go ahead and give points to folks who simply sign up on your list, or new customers that are entered into the system. It encourages customers, existing customers, to increase their purchases to reach that next tier so that they can get to that next point value. And then just in general, it increases the brand loyalty and awareness. I mean, if you think about any loyalty programs that you're currently a part of or familiar with, like airlines, for instance, you are definitely going to, if you're looking at two different flights, you're going to go with the airline, or you're going to feel better about going with the airline that you have loyalty points with, right? So it's very much the same thing. You want to increase that, that awareness, and the relationship is increased as well when folks have that connection to you. So we'll talk about how to set it up. So we are heading into Commerce7, and let's first activate the extension. That's the very first step. So we're on the dashboard. Let's head down into apps and extensions. Head over to Commerce7 extensions, and then down here, you'll see loyalty. I already have it installed here, but obviously it would say, it would say that it wasn't installed if you haven't visited this yet and installed it. So let's go ahead and do that. And then up here, it'll say install the extension. It says remove because I already have it installed. So once you install it, you can go ahead and take a look at the settings. And this is where you have a few fields to define basically what the loyalty program is going to, how it's going to, the redemption rates are going to work. So the very first thing up here is the redemption rate. And what the redemption rate does is that it defines how many points can be redeemed for a specific dollar amount off of an order. And I'll say that one more time because I know it's a mouthful. So it defines how many points can be redeemed for a specific dollar amount off. So in the example here, we see if 100 points can be redeemed for $1 off, then enter 0.01. And I'll give you another example. If, for instance, if 250 points can be redeemed for $5 off, it would be 0.02. So yes, there's a little bit of math involved here, but if you get out your calculator, like I had to, then you'll be able to figure that out pretty quickly. Then we have the redemption limit, and that defines the percentage of the order that can be redeemed with points. So 100% is here, because what I'm saying here is if someone has the points to pay for 100% of an order that they are looking to buy, I'm going to allow them to do that. But let's say you only want folks to be able to use points on 50% of any given order, and the rest you want, credit card or cash or whatever. That's fine. You would put a 50 here. Down here, we have points awarded on customer creation. And this is kind of what I touched on in that last slide, which is if this is someone that has never purchased before, is not already in your system, but you want to incentivize them to become a customer, become someone who buys, then you can go ahead and say, hey, you know what? Today we are giving an extra we're giving you 500 points to play with when you sign up on our list. Down here, you can define whether points are earned on shipping and or taxes. And if you don't check those, then it's only on the subtotal with it takes into account the product, just the product. Okay. Going to save these settings. Fantastic. We now have loyalty installed. So what we're going to do now is head over into settings. Pardon me. And because it's now installed, we see a loyalty points section here in settings. If you don't see this, just go install the extension and then you'll see it. So we're going to head in here. And we'll see that my loyalty program is active, and that's because I've been in here setting it up for the demo, but you will be in a planning mode initially. And a word about that, you absolutely want to give a lot of thought and consideration before making it active. You don't want to be going back and forth, making it active. It will just confuse your customers. It'll confuse your staff. So you just want to really, talk to your team, figure out what you want to do before you make it active, and then take the plunge and do it. So below here, we have the settings. These are exactly the same settings that we just set up over in the extension. It's just kind of a shortcut. If you wanted to be like, oh, wait, no, I actually want to just make the redemption rate 50%. You could click on the pencil and make that change here. And then down here, we have the tiers. And basically, loyalty tiers are segments of your customers that are eligible for certain points based on certain criteria. So we're going to create another loyalty tier here in a moment, but just wanted to just call this out that you can have one loyalty tier. Maybe you just want, hey, I just want one loyalty. This is my loyalty program. Everybody gets the same points. Everyone redeems at the same rate. Totally fine. Or you can have, a tiered system here like I do here, which is bronze, silver, and gold based on lifetime value. And then as they move up, as they purchase more, then they earn additional points for each of the dollars that they spend. So lots of things to think about here, but this is how I set mine up, and we're going to go ahead and create one more. So this is going to be my very top tier. I'm going to call it Platinum. And down here we have qualification type. You can qualify by club, in which case if you leave that selected here, then down here you will see your clubs and you can base it on club. You can base it on lifetime value, which I did. And then you can also base it on yearly value. And this means that if folks do not maintain a particular threshold for their yearly spend, then they will fall into a lower tier. Or if they maintain it, or if they increase it, then they will fall into a higher tier. But in this case, I'm doing lifetime value. And for my platinum folks, it's going to be, let's do 2,500. And points earned for these folks is going to be 125. Now that is incredibly generous, probably not what you're going to do, but just for the sake of the demo and seeing things really working, I made the points pretty high, but it's going to be dramatic. All right, we're going to save this loyalty tier. And now we see it. There's our platinum tier. So what is this saying? We have our platinum, gold, silver, and bronze. We have qualification type is all based on lifetime value. Here are the qualification type LTV numbers, that the thresholds that must be met. And then as you move up in your tier groupings, you get to earn more. Oh, 124, I meant to do 125 there, but you get the idea. Now we also see a base tier down here, and this is a tier that you will see initially when you're setting this up, and it's not a tier that you can delete. It's basically customers that aren't in any other tier. What do you want to do with those guys? You may want to throw them a bone like I did. You want to, yeah, you can get, 10 points per dollar spent. You can also make this 0 if you want to. So whatever you want to do with those guys, but they don't go away. They're down here, and you have to define some sort of value for them, even if it's 0. What if someone qualifies for being in 2 tiers? Well, and that can happen, right? Because based on qualification type, you may have 1 tier that's based on club membership, and you might have another tier that's based on lifetime value. In that case, someone could possibly qualify for 2 tiers. And the way that you define which tier they will, because they won't get double points, so you don't have to worry about that. But we did have to decide, okay, well, gosh, which one are they going to actually be eligible for? Well, that's where these come in. So it's a hierarchy here. So whatever one is up above the other is the one that's going to prevail. So in other words, if someone is both in, like, let's say the bronze tier was actually based on club membership, right? And someone's in both. Someone's both in that one and platinum. Right now, they're going to get the platinum tier. That's one they're going to get because it's the one that's up top. It's above the bronze. But let's say it's actually the club membership one, AKA bronze. I can move these guys by clicking and dragging. So now this one, they would be getting that one instead. So hopefully that makes sense. But that's where that comes into play. That is that. So again, once you've figured out that this is what you want, you will go ahead and make the loyalty program active. Upon activation, we go and we look at everybody that's in your list, everyone in the database, and we put them into their tier. So anybody now who has a lifetime value of over 2,500 will now be in a platinum tier. Let's go take a look at that. So we're going to go look at the CRM. Going to look at Mr. Tom Jones here. And you'll see up here at a glance, he is in the platinum tier. This is his number of points. We are going to also see a loyalty tab here. And this is where you can see any points that he has redeemed, any points that he has earned, and also any points that are manually adjusted, which we will talk about in a moment. If someone moves from one tier to the next, either up or down, you will still have this running statement. This is also something that your customers see online, which we'll see in a few minutes. So you'll notice here that we have purchases and redemptions associated with specific orders. You can click into those orders and go take a look at them. You'll also notice that here is one without an order, manual, and that's up here. We can adjust loyalty points. So you as an admin can go ahead and adjust points up or down. If they're going up, you just simply enter 1,000 points, great customer, and save those points. And now you'll see, okay, great. He has plus 1,000 points. And then you're like, oh, shoot, I didn't mean to give him 1,000 points. I need to get that out of there for some reason. You can go back, adjust those points, enter a minus sign and mistake and save loyalty. And now you'll see it's back, or not it's back, but it's depleted by 1,000 points. So know that you can do that as well. Okay, let's go ahead and create an admin order, pay with points, and so we can see what that looks like. So let's go to orders. We will add an order. And let's go ahead and let's add a couple of these guys. Okay, great. We have an order. Now, as we scroll down, we see this blue flag when they have points to redeem. And you can click on that. And you can either go ahead and use all the points that you, if that's something that you allow, which I do 100%. So I have 100% here that could go toward this dollar value. But Tom Jones, he's like, oh, I don't want to use all my points. Maybe he just wants to use, I just want to use 5,000 of my points right now. Okay, great. Put 5,000 there. You'll see the dollar value, add that tender. And now we see that 448.84 is going to go on his card and 50 is going to go from loyalty. We go ahead and click charge. And now we're done. Let's go into the payment tab. And here we see it. Loyalty points versus the Visa. Also, now when we go back to his loyalty tab, you will see here we have a redemption and we have a purchase. Pardon me. I know this question will come up. Yes, purchases or points are earned on purchases, even if they are purchased with points. Even if they're purchased with points. So just know that they're going to earn it. Okay, let's head into POS and see how we redeem them there. Whoops, move our faces. Okay, cool. Let's again do a couple of these guys. And pardon me. We'll use Mr. Tom Jones again, pick on him. Great. And again, up here, your staff is going to see at a glance if this person is, you know, who is this person to the winery as far as like their loyalty program goes. So they'll know right away how valuable they are as far as that goes. Okay, let's go ahead and pay. And now you'll see this loyalty points box. And when we click on it, again, we have the choice here to, I only want to do 5,000. Okay, that's cool, Mr. Jones. $50 will go paying with loyalty. And then of course we have a balance here. Let's go ahead and do that balance with cash. And then that's that. Back over into admin. Let's look at that order. And okay, that's our POS order. This is our payment. And we see paid both with points and with cash. Now let's go online and see what this looks like as the customer. So I'm logged in here. Going to go first to my dashboard. And down here, we now see a loyalty points section. And we see at a glance, again, I'm a platinum member. These are my points. This shows me what the rules are. I can also click here and it tells me more about my rules. Now, if I wasn't in this highest tier, there would be an upsell opportunity here. There would be, it would say, you only have to earn another, 500 points. And then you get to go into the silver tier. And when you learn more about that, it'll tell you, wow, look, you really want to be in the silver tier because this, and this is what you get. So it's a really cool little incentive right here on this dashboard. They can see kind of where they stand. Okay. Oh, and they also can view their history. So they will see all the stuff, even those manual changes here, they will see them. So just know that. I am going to go shop. So we're going to add some of the cab. And we're going to go proceed to checkout. And so here is where it shows as redeem. Now, whereas in admin or in POS, They have the opportunity to adjust the points that they want to use on this particular order. Not the case with online. It's going to take all those points and put it toward the order. So just know that it's going to take any eligible, applicable points and apply them toward the order. Going to redeem. And again, in this case, I'm allowing 100%. I have the points to pay 100% of this order. So it's going to allow me to do that. Great. My order has been placed. So again, back over into Commerce7. Let's look at the store and we'll take a look at this guy. Here's my web order that I just placed. There's my payment and there are my loyalty points, or shows that I paid by loyalty. Okay, let's see. Okay, here under the store tab, you do now see loyalty transactions, and this shows you your transactions based on transaction date and type. You can filter this, and it'll show you all of the transactions based on those filters. So in one spot, so you don't have to go into each, individual person. Something else that you can do here, which is kind of cool, is you can add a loyalty transaction right from that screen. So you can do a customer search. Let's again go to Tom Jones. You can put some notes in here if you'd like. Let's see, corked bottle. And because of the corked bottle, we're going to give you 1,000 points. Save loyalty transaction. And there you go. So this is now this is a manual transaction, same as if I had gone to Tom Jones's loyalty tab within his customer profile. Same thing. It's just a quick way to do that from this screen. Let's look at reports. Oh, actually, let's look at loyalty reports. So under the reports tab, you'll now see a loyalty reports tab. So we have 4 of them. We have transactions by day, transactions by month, loyalty tier summary report, pardon me, and a loyalty summary report. So you're likely very, very familiar with the format of all of these. The thing to remember about loyalty points is that it's a tender type. It's a tender type. And so in all reports that show different tenders, you're going to see loyalty as one of those. In fact, we'll look at order reports here in a second. I can show you that. But we do have transactions by day. And this is going to be showing adjusted, redeemed, and earned by day. And as in any of the reports, if you float your cursor over this bar graph, you will see information. And then as you scroll down, you'll see it in a different way, more linearly down here. We also have by month. So again, very similar to the by day, except it's by month. We have the tier summary report. This will show you how many people or how many customers per tier there are. And then down here, you'll see it as well. And finally, we have the loyalty summary report, which is very similar to the closing report. That's the word I'm looking for, the closing report for orders. So when we click into this, it gives you several sections that you can reference. Interestingly, I'm seeing zeros here. I think this has to do something with my demo account, but normally you would see the totals over here. And then we have outstanding points. We have redemption rates. Again, I would normally see stuff populating over here. So I obviously have something in my setup, pardon me, specific to my demo account that's a little wonky, but normally you'd be seeing numbers over there. And then we see the number of folks in each tier. You can email this report to you as you can with most of our reports, just so you know. And let's head over to order reports real quick here. And when we look at our closing report, and we see tender details, there we are, Visa, cash, and loyalty points. Okay, the next thing I want to talk about is I just want to show you a couple of places where we now will see loyalty information coming in. So you can do queries, and you can also do some tagging. So if we're in our customer queries and we are in the customer conditions, you will now see loyalty points and loyalty tier. Likewise, if you are in order queries and our faces, there we go, and you are in customer conditions, you will again see loyalty points and loyalty tier. So some extra really cool conditions there that can be taken a look at and reported on. All right, let's head over to settings and into tags. And here we are in customer tags, and let's go ahead and add one. And this would be in dynamic tags, not manual. Dynamic applies to one or more of the conditions, and now one of the conditions is going to be loyalty points. So another way to tag segments based on a condition being loyalty points, which is great. Let's see here. That is what I have. Miss Margaret, what am I forgetting, or what questions do we have?
I don't think you're forgetting anything. You did a wonderful job explaining this feature, so great job
Thanks.
as always for me.
Oh, thank you.
But yeah, I don't think that you missed anything in particular, although we just have quite a bit of questions
Okay.
come through while you were presenting, so I'll just talk through those right now. And we have one that's left unanswered. So first, the first question that came through was, can they redeem 100% off of a liquor product? So I'm assuming that this question came from a compliance or a legal standpoint, because I know in Canada and in some other jurisdictions, it's not actually illegal to redeem 100% of an alcoholic purchase with loyalty points. So my response was, they can redeem 100% of an order with loyalty points if you have your if you have your redemption limit set to 100%. But I would double check with what's legal in your jurisdiction to make sure that you're not making any mistakes there. But it's definitely possible to do this if it is legal in your region. The next question here was, can you set it to apply points at wine club sign up, not the customer, but wine club? And I think I may have misinterpreted this question after reading it for a second time here now, but there's no way to trigger points being added upon sign up, which I think is what you were initially asking. But you, as a customer, you can apply points through the POS on a club sign up, but not online at the moment. But there is also no way to just auto add points upon a club sign up at the moment, but that's something that we can definitely talk about with our product team. The next question here was, we do 50% more points earned 1 day a week for our club members. Is there something in the works that we can have this automatically update instead of having to do this manually every week? And that's something that I mentioned we would talk about with our product team as a feature request. A lot of these automated points questions we'll talk about as feature requests. And then Betty just confirmed the club discount percent applies as well as the points being added. And that is correct, that club discounts will definitely be applied before you're using loyalty points. You can kind of think of loyalty points as another tender. That's probably the best way to think about it, because they don't really interfere with the promotions or coupons at all. So that's a good way to bring that in your mind. Next here, we have double points at release events. Is there a way to have that automated? So again, we'll review that with our team. And Natasha asked, can we change the customer creation points in an example, like for a new club sign up, 500 sign up points for a limited time, and then change that to 0 for a new customer sign up after the period of launch. So that field where upon new customer sign up, the amount of points that are attributed can be dynamically updated at any time. So if you have an event per se where you're advertising 500 points per new customer sign up during that weekend or whatever the event timeframe would be, after that point, you could definitely reduce that to 0 if you choose to. And at any point in time, you can adjust that number to whatever you see fit. And then Carrie asked, will the customer see the mistake entry as the manual loyalty points? Yes, so the customer will see every single loyalty transaction on the front end in the dashboard, just for full transparency on what's going on with their account. So they'll be able to see everything that happens. So just keep that in the back of your mind when you're making any manual loyalty adjustments. Next here, Lindsay, is it possible to adjust multiple point balances at once? So similar to the other inquiries here, we'll definitely talk about that one with the product team. I can definitely see that bulk applying loyalty points is a need from you guys from this conversation. So we'll definitely have that conversation with our product team today. Next here, do customers receive emails when points are added or subtracted manually? So not at this time. We don't send an email out at this time, but like I said, everything is visual in the dashboard for the customer whenever they were to log in. Next, do loyalty point redemptions or loyalty point balances show on auto emails once a purchase is made? So the balance won't show of the number of points that the customer has, but it will show as a tender on the confirmation emails. So you'll see loyalty points, X dollar value as a tender on that email, but the total balance that they have left is not shown on the automated emails at this time. Lindsay asked if there was a potential to integrate loyalty with a restaurant POS. So as a kind of a general response, we do have an open API. So with custom development, this is likely possible. I mentioned that I'm not 100% sure what is possible with Toast specifically. And if they have an open API that you can work with, that would also be required to pull that information in. So I would recommend talking with one of our developer partners to see what is and isn't possible on the technical standpoint with that. But from our end of things, I don't see a problem with that being integrated. Betty, can points go towards tax or shipping? Yes, so points can definitely go towards tax and shipping. And then Heather asked about the tip percentage on the POS being based on the total after loyalty points and the gift cards are applied. And she asked if this is something that can be discussed with our product team. And I mentioned that we have discussed this with our product team, and it's actually something that I think we are planning on changing. I don't have an ETA on exactly when that will happen, but it is something that I have seen discussed in our internal documentation. And then Natasha, if we are applying this to a club type qualification and if club member cancels, they lose their points. So I asked Natasha, if you don't mind, could you please send me a private chat with your email address? Because I do want to double check this. I believe that when a club member cancels, the points are removed. But Brittany, do you know that answer off the top of your head?
They're not removed. They're not removed.
Oh, they're not. They're not.
Nope.
Okay, perfect. Then I don't need to follow up with you. Awesome.
Yep. So if someone falls out of a tier for any reason, they still retain, they fall out of that tier. They're no longer a part of that tier, but they don't lose their points.
Okay, amazing. Yeah, thank you for clarifying that, Britt. That's awesome. Next question here. From an accounting standpoint, how do you balance the loyalty points as a tender type? So I would recommend using our reporting tools to take a look at how loyalty points have been used. And I believe our loyalty points included in our closing report. Brittany, do you know? Can you check
They
that?
are.
Right now?
Let's go
Awesome.
take a quick peek. And
Perfect.
yep, there they are.
Amazing. So I would use the closing report for that particular question there to consolidate your accounting. Next question. So I'm new to and these ones are new, so I haven't seen these ones yet. I'm new to a loyalty program. What is the standard for a point value that we could use to start with? Also, is there a fine print that the customers will see, like the points are not transferable or they can't cash their points for cash? To be honest with you, I'm not 100% sure what the standard would be across the board. Brittany, do you have any estimates on what that would look like?
Man, I mean, I don't. I guess it
Okay.
would be, yeah, I'd have to do some research and reaching out to my winery friends to see what different companies are doing. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm sorry that we don't know off the top of our head there for the data what the standard would be. I'd say start with what feels right, and then you can always adjust this quite dynamically whenever you might need to do that. And then the next question here also, is there a fine print the customers will see? I do believe we have some verbiage in our online loyalty points, but I don't know that we say that they can't be redeemed in cash on the front end. We can look into that though, and I'll get back to you on that, Lee. I'll make a note here. I will get back to you with that question. I'm just copying it here. Awesome. And then, okay, so I'm just going to dismiss this question for now. And then Betty, so we answered Natasha's question as well about the club tier. So like Brittany said, they will remain in the customer's account, those points, but they will not stay in that loyalty tier if they cancel their membership. Christine, can you stop loyalty points from applying to tax or shipping? Or is there a way for this to behave like a rebate instead of a tender? Not at this time, Christine.
So let me, since this has come up a couple times, let me head back into the app and extension and show you where that is defined under settings. And then down here, okay, do you want it applying to shipping and or taxes? If so, go ahead and check it and save. Otherwise, leave it blank and it'll just apply to product.
Yeah, so Brittany, I think she's asking in terms of redemption, so not earning the points, but when you're redeeming them, yeah. So there's no way to one. No, that's okay. Don't be sorry. This is a good call out too, because it's important to mention that they can decide if they want the points to apply on shipping and taxes as well. But in terms of redemption, yeah, there's no way to restrict that from not applying to shipping or taxes if you have 100% redemption rate. So I would maybe use a lower redemption rate there. So you always have X percentage, maybe your tax percentage or your shipping percentage as a rough estimate, maybe use like a 50% redemption rate or something like that. So you always ensure that your taxes and shipping are being paid with cash or with a credit card or any other tender. But that would really be the only way to mitigate allowing that to apply in that way. So there's no way to apply it like a rebate versus a tender at this time. And then Carrie said that they manually remove the points at club cancellation. So that was just a comment there.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, I mean, certainly we have that flexibility. If that's your rule, then you can absolutely do that. But the system doesn't do that.
Mm-hmm. Next question. Do points have to apply to a dollar value, or can they simply be points redeemed for merchandise, gifts, tastings, etc.? So yes, they do have to be a dollar value. There's no way to just say to reduce it on a particular product type. It would always work as a tender or a dollar value. Next question, can points earned for purchase vary depending on purchase? For instance, can we define the points awarded depending if the purchase is wine versus merchandise versus experience? So at this time, there's no way to control the product type and the amount of points that are applied, but I'm happy to review that with our team as well as a future request, Megan. Next question, we are looking at launching this. We would also like to see the option to add extra points like a promotion, buy a specific product or get dollar value extra points for a period. Just saying that from a functionality perspective, this would be ideal. So yeah, I definitely see where that would be valuable for you, Natasha. I wholeheartedly agree that that would be a great feature to add, to have a promotional offering for your loyalty points. So we'll definitely consider that and talk with our product team about this as well. Thank you for your insight there. And then we have one last question listed here. So are we able to create a special tier that we only manually put customers in? Like if we want to put members with tenure into a higher tier manually? And Brittany, do you know off the top of your head, I thought it was only two, or the only three triggers that would put someone into a tier. I wasn't aware if there's a manual one. I'm 99% sure there's not.
So just look at that for a sec. So if we were to, let's see how we could possibly do that.
I don't think it would be, I don't think it would be possible because of the qualification types.
Yep. Exactly. Yeah, those are set.
Yeah, so you would have to use either the lifetime value or the yearly value. And then in that sense, I think that would be like the way to accomplish this is that if they have tenure, they're likely spending more money with you, and you could create maybe a higher option for that, but there's no way to manually put them in there at this time, unfortunately. And then Betty, could you not award any points, but allow people to go into different tiers, and then customers are given a merchandise gift once a year, depending on their level? Yeah. You could definitely do no points awarded in loyalty tiers and then use this as a way to kind of segment your customers if you'd like. I would say just due to the fact that the customers will see the loyalty points on the front end and they'll see like 0 points X number of points earned. And then you would have no real way to redeem those. That might be not the greatest customer experience to be able to see those points, but not be able to do anything with them. I might use like tagging or using queries to segment those customers in another way, so that it's not so like in the customer's face that they're not able to use the points, but it could be used in that way if you choose to. But I think maybe using tags to give people a merchandise gift once a year, depending on yearly value or something like that, might be a little bit of a better customer experience, but totally up to you. Could definitely be used in that way if you like that idea, for sure. Awesome. There's nothing else left here, but we're gonna wait a couple minutes like we always do, just to make sure.
Perfect. While we're waiting for any other questions, I just want to point out that when you go to support to the knowledge base and you type in loyalty, we have a complete overview here with these are all anchor links. So based on, and they pretty much go in order. If this is the very first time that you're setting it up, it pretty much goes in order of what the setup looks like. But maybe you want to come back and go, oh wait, how do I redeem points in POS? You can click on that, and there's a video along with all of the documentation on how it all works.
Amazing. I love those videos. They're so helpful. Also, while we're waiting on some last questions, next week we have our Commerce7 live event. So if you have not registered, please register. It's on Tuesday. You get to see 4 of our team members, myself included, talking about all of the new features that we'll be releasing on Tuesday, in addition to what we plan for the year ahead and what we've accomplished in this past year. So we'd really love to see all of you there if you'd like to join. And I will actually put the registration link in the chat right now. Just bear with me for one moment.
And also on your dashboard, you'll see a register now link as well, in case you miss Margaret's link that she puts in there.
It's not letting me send to everyone, Brittany. I'm going to send you a Slack message with this link if you don't mind sending it in there. I think it's because you started the meeting today.
Yep.
It's only letting me send to hosts and panelists. That'll be awesome.
Let's see. Oh, actually, let's do this. I'm going to click on register now, and it's just right here, right? Is that the?
Yes, ma'am.
Cool. So, and then I want to, what do I want to do here?
So just open up the chat at the bottom of the Zoom window. It'll say chat at the bottom there.
Oh, there we go. Yeah, host
and
then
if you can toggle to everyone. Yeah, that's perfect. I just don't have that option right now.
There we go.
Perfect. Awesome. So if you guys would like to register, please feel free. That's it for the questions that we had come in. Nothing else came through in our Q&A. So we'll wait a couple minutes for you guys to get that link if you want to. But it was really wonderful to be with all of you guys today. So thank you for listening.
Thank you, everybody. All right, we're going to say bye.
Okay.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.